There is one habit that costs nothing, requires no equipment, no gym membership, and no special training. It can be done at any fitness level. It takes as little as 10 minutes, and for adults over 50, it may be one of the single most powerful things you can do to support healthy blood sugar after every meal. It is simply walking. Not a long walk, not a strenuous walk, just a calm, gentle stroll taken within 30 to 60 minutes of finishing a meal. And the effect it has on blood glucose levels is something that researchers, doctors, and metabolic health specialists have been paying very close attention to in recent years. If you have been looking for something practical and sustainable to add to your daily routine, something that actually moves the needle on how you feel without being overwhelming or complicated, today's video is for you. This is TrueWell Prime, and today we are going to explore exactly why walking after meals is so powerful for glucose control after 50. What is happening inside your body when you do it? How to do it in a way that fits your life, and what else you can pair it with to get the most benefit. Take Margaret, for example, a 62-year-old from suburban Florida who's managing pre-diabetes with metformin and trying low-carb, but still crashes after her chicken salad lunch. She used to nap every afternoon, frustrated by her glucometer showing spikes to 160 despite good choices. Then she started a simple 10-minute walk around her neighborhood right after eating. Within a week, those crashes eased, her energy held steady, and her readings dropped noticeably. It's not magic, it's her body at work. Let us begin. To understand why walking after meals matters so much, we first need to understand what is happening in your body in the 30 to 90 minutes after you eat. When you finish a meal, particularly one that contains carbohydrates, your digestive system begins breaking those carbohydrates down into glucose. That glucose enters your bloodstream. Blood sugar rises, and your pancreas responds by releasing insulin, the hormone responsible for moving glucose out of the blood and into your cells where it can be used for energy. In a younger, metabolically flexible body, this process tends to happen quickly and efficiently. But after 50, insulin sensitivity often declines. The cells do not respond to insulin as readily as they once did. The pancreas sometimes overcompensates by releasing more insulin than is ideal, and the result is a blood sugar spike that rises higher, stays elevated longer, and drops more sharply than it should. That spike and subsequent drop is what produces the familiar post-meal fatigue, the brain fog, the energy crash, the renewed hunger that so many adults over 50 experience as a normal part of their day. But here is where walking enters the picture. And here is where something quite remarkable happens in the body. Your muscles are among the largest glucose-consuming tissues in your entire body. When they are active, even gently active, they have the ability to absorb glucose from the bloodstream directly. And critically, this process can happen independently of insulin. Let me say that again, because it is important. When your muscles are moving, they can take up glucose from the blood without needing insulin to unlock the door. They have their own separate pathway for glucose absorption that activates during physical activity. This means that when you take a walk after a meal, your leg muscles, your core, your back, your arms, all begin drawing glucose out of your bloodstream through this insulin-independent pathway. The load on your pancreas is reduced, the height of the blood sugar spike is lowered, and the duration of elevated blood sugar after the meal is shortened considerably. Think of it as opening multiple doors at once. Without a post-meal walk, glucose has only the insulin pathway available to it. With a gentle walk, you open a second set of doors, allowing glucose to clear from the bloodstream through an entirely different route. For adults over 50 dealing with reduced insulin sensitivity, this second pathway is not just helpful. For many people, it is genuinely transformative. The research on this is both clear and compelling. Multiple studies have found that a short walk taken after eating, even as brief as 10 minutes, produces a measurable and significant reduction in post-meal blood sugar compared to remaining sedentary after the same meal. In some studies, A 10-minute walk after eating outperformed a 30-minute walk taken at a different time of day when it came to managing post-meal glucose levels specifically. The timing matters. The window of greatest opportunity is within 30 to 60 minutes of finishing a meal, when blood sugar is actively rising. Starting your walk during this window means your muscles are activating precisely when glucose is entering the bloodstream most rapidly. The two processes meet each other. Your muscles absorb what your blood is carrying, and the spike is blunted before it has a chance to climb to its full height. One study published in a prominent sports medicine journal found that participants who took short walks after each of their 3 daily meals had significantly better overall blood sugar control throughout the day compared to those who took a single, longer walk at one time. The distribution of gentle activity across the day, timed to coincide with meals, produced better outcomes than the same or even greater total activity concentrated in one session. For adults over 50, this finding is particularly meaningful. It suggests that you do not need to carve out a dedicated hour for exercise to make a real difference in your metabolic health. 3 short walks, one after each meal, each lasting just 10 to 15 minutes, may do more for your blood sugar than one longer workout done at an unrelated time. But the benefits of post-meal walking extend well beyond blood sugar alone. And for adults over 50, these additional benefits are worth understanding. Gentle walking after meals supports digestion. Movement helps stimulate the natural contractions of the digestive tract, moving food through more efficiently and reducing the bloating, heaviness, and discomfort that some people experience after eating. Walking supports circulation. After a meal, blood flow is redirected toward the digestive system. Gentle movement helps maintain healthy circulation throughout the body, including to the brain, which is part of why a short post-meal walk often produces a noticeable lift in mental clarity and alertness compared to sitting still after eating. Walking supports cardiovascular health. Even gentle, low-intensity walking has been shown to have measurable positive effects on blood pressure, heart rate variability, and arterial flexibility over time. For adults over 50, for whom cardiovascular health is a priority, alongside metabolic health, post-meal walks offer benefits across both areas simultaneously. Walking supports joint health and mobility. Gentle, regular movement lubricates the joints, maintains range of motion, and helps counteract the stiffness that often increases with age. Many adults find that the joints that feel stiffest when sedentary feel considerably better after even a short, easy walk. And walking supports mood and stress levels. Movement triggers the release of endorphins and helps regulate cortisol, the stress hormone that, as we have discussed in previous videos, plays a direct role in blood sugar elevation. A calmer cortisol level in the hours after meals contributes to more stable blood sugar through the afternoon and evening. One simple habit, multiple layers of benefit, all accessible to the vast majority of adults over 50, regardless of current fitness level. Now let us talk about how to actually build this habit into your daily life. Because knowing something is beneficial and actually doing it consistently are two very different things. The key to making post-meal walking sustainable is keeping it genuinely low barrier. This is not exercise in the traditional sense. You are not trying to get your heart rate up significantly. You are not trying to break a sweat or cover a certain distance. You are simply moving your body gently during the window when your blood sugar is rising. A pace that allows you to hold a conversation comfortably is exactly right. If you are walking outside, a gentle neighborhood stroll is ideal. If the weather does not cooperate, walking slowly through your home, up and down a hallway, around the living room, works just as well physiologically. The muscles are activating. The glucose pathway is opening. The location is secondary. Start with what is manageable for you right now. If 10 minutes feels like a lot, start with 5. 5 minutes of gentle movement after a meal is infinitely more beneficial than no movement at all. And as the habit becomes established, extending it becomes natural and easy. Pairing the walk with something enjoyable helps enormously with consistency. Listen to a podcast or an audiobook. Call a family member or a friend. Walk with a spouse or a neighbor. Bring the dog. The point is to create a positive association with the habit so that it becomes something you look forward to rather than something you have to push yourself to do. Attaching the walk to an existing routine also helps anchor the habit. After you clear the dishes, you walk. After you put away the leftovers, you walk. The walk becomes the automatic next step in the sequence of finishing a meal, rather than a separate decision that requires effort and willpower each time. One practical question that comes up often is what to do when eating out, or when a meal happens somewhere that does not make walking immediately convenient. The answer is to adapt rather than skip. If you are at a restaurant, park a little further from the entrance and walk back to your car after eating. If you are at a family gathering or a social event, excuse yourself for a short walk around the block after the meal. If you are traveling or in an unfamiliar environment, a few minutes of gentle movement in whatever space is available still activates the same muscle pathways and produces the same glucose-lowering effect. Perfection is not the goal. Consistency is. An imperfect walk done regularly beats a perfect routine that only happens occasionally. Now let us talk about what you can pair with post-meal walking to further support healthy glucose control after 50. Walking is powerful on its own, but it works even more effectively when the meal it follows is balanced in a way that does not produce an extreme glucose spike to begin with. Meals that include meaningful protein, plenty of non-starchy vegetables, healthy fat, and moderate portions of complex, rather than refined carbohydrates, create a gentler glucose rise. When you combine a balanced meal with a post-meal walk, the cumulative effect on blood sugar stability is considerably greater than either approach alone. Hydration also plays a role. Drinking water before and during a meal and maintaining good hydration through the day supports kidney function and helps the body manage glucose more effectively. Starting your post-meal walk well hydrated makes the walk more comfortable and supports the overall metabolic process. And then there is the matter of nutritional support at the cellular level. Because even with improved meal composition and regular post-meal movement, the underlying efficiency of your body's glucose processing machinery depends on having the right nutrients present in sufficient amounts. Magnesium supports insulin sensitivity and the cellular processes involved in glucose metabolism. Many adults over 50 are not getting enough through diet alone. Chromium supports the action of insulin at the receptor level, helping glucose enter the cells more efficiently. Berberine has been studied extensively for its role in supporting healthy blood sugar levels and glucose metabolism. Alpha-lipoic acid supports the mitochondria, the energy-producing structures inside your cells, in using glucose cleanly and efficiently. And certain B vitamins are essential to the metabolic pathways that process carbohydrates at every meal. Other nutrients like gymnema and eleuthero can further aid glucose uptake and adaptation, enhancing how your body responds to movement like walking. Getting all of these through food alone is genuinely difficult, particularly after 50, when absorption efficiency declines. Some adults find that incorporating a well-designed daily formula that brings these key nutrients together provides a reliable foundation that works alongside improved breakfast habits rather than replacing them. If you would like to explore what that kind of nutritional support looks like, and what others in a similar situation have found helpful, there is a resource in the description below where you can learn more at your own pace. Before we close, the important reminder. This video is for educational purposes only. It is not medical advice and is not intended to diagnose, treat, or cure any health condition. Please speak with your healthcare provider about your individual situation, especially if you are currently managing blood sugar concerns or taking any related medications. Let me leave you with something simple and true. Of all the habits that support healthy blood sugar after 50, the post-meal walk may offer the best return for the least effort of anything available to you. It is free, it is gentle, it is accessible at almost any fitness level. It works with your body's own biology, and it begins producing measurable benefits from the very first time you do it. You do not need to wait until you feel ready. You do not need a plan or a program or a perfect starting point. You just need to finish your next meal, wait a few minutes, and go for a short walk. That is where it starts. One meal, one walk, 10 minutes. And from there, one of the most powerful daily habits for metabolic health after 50 begins to take root. Thank you for spending this time with True Well Prime. Take good care of yourself today.